Have you ever wanted to become a white hive? I will be showing you how to get the gummy baller fast with these methods I'm going to be showing you, so stay tuned. So if we go ahead to the gummy layer and go to the gummy baller, you can see it costs 1,500 glues, 2,000 gumdrops, and so on. So I'm gonna be showing you how to get the glues. Now the glues are not that hard to get. Firstly, obviously, use the glue dispenser every single day. It responds every 22 hours, so that's pretty cool. Not 24 hours, but 22 hours. Next is mobs. Obviously, if you kill mobs, there's a chance you can get either gumdrops or glue. So make sure you kill your mobs, as always. This counts for all the mobs, such as the ladybug all the way up to the werewolf, or even coconut crab and stuff, but actually the coconut crab does not give you gumdrops. Instead it gives you glues, which is even more useful, because if you didn't know, 1 glue is equal to 50 gumdrops, and obviously 10 royal jellies. So you can see that it's not cheap to make at all. So if you obviously get a glue from the mobs, it's going to be a lot better than just getting gumdrops. Now the next method is memory match. Specifically the extreme memory match, because there's a chance you can get a couple glues from it. Not just one, but I think a couple. It's pretty rare sometimes, but you can still get it. Obviously here I'm probably going to mess up a lot, so I'm not gonna get it. But there wasn't any glue this time. But there's a big chance that there's maybe 5 glues sometimes included. But most of the times there's just gonna be 1 glue. On the lower memory matches, for example, there is only gumdrops. Now, on the memory match that is in the badge area right here, I think it has only 1 glue and a couple gumdrops. So yeah, you can also get that. Make sure it's going to be a bit useful. But I think this way is just too much time. It's not going to guarantee you to get some gumdrops or glue, so I'll personally not recommend it. But obviously, you have to do your memory matches daily for good rewards anyway. Next we got Meteor Shower. So let me summon that, and you can see that if you catch the meteors, you can actually get some pretty good rewards, such as gumdrops, glue, or anything like that. As you can see, so you just gotta stay like this, and you can get some rewards, I guess. Now, here's a tip. The smaller the meteors you stay at, the higher rewards you have. Boom, I just got a gumdrop. What does that mean? Well, for example, if I have a big meteor like this one right here, where my mouse is pointing, there is a smaller chance that I'll get good rewards. But on smaller meteors, such as this one for example, I can get better rewards. For example, boom, I just got gumdrop again. On the bigger ones, however, I don't really get that many. So for example, boom, again, small meteor, oh, I got glitter, that's nice. And you can see that this is a pretty useful tip, because you should not mess up your meteors as they summon every 22 hours. So yeah. And there's also a chance to get the glue from meteors, so that's another useful way. I will not be including the gumdrops part, because they are kind of like the glues basically. If you want to get the 2,000 gumdrops fast, you just have to follow this entire list I said of the glues, but also gumdrop dispenser, or the gumdrop shop basically. You can, get some gumdrops from here. And another is macroing. If you macro, the higher chances, obviously, if you're macro, you're just gonna kill a bunch of mobs, and the more mobs you kill, obviously, the more gumdrops you're gonna get. So I recommend you macroing somewhere in like bamboo field, or any field that there's 2 mobs inside of. I think pine tree field is probably one of the best, because it has 2 mantises and a werewolf, and the werewolf can obviously drop some glue as well, so that's useful. Next we've got the caustic wax. This is 50 caustic wax. Now the caustic wax is not very hard to get. Obviously I got the dark side and the gummy baller, so in total I had about 100 caustic wax in my life. And yeah, the caustic wax, you just gotta craft it, that's it. Either craft or Puffshrooms. These are the only tips I can get. I don't think it's dropped by mobs. For example, exclusively in the winter memory match, I think you can also get a caustic wax from that, but it's again not beastmas, so I can't really talk about that. Yeah, so caustic wax, it costs 5 hard waxes, 5 enzymes, 25 neon berries, and 5,000 royal jellies. Now, personally for me, the hardest part of crafting the caustic wax was the neon berries. So a tip to get the neon berries fast, well, you simply gotta go to your inventory, pesticide planter, boom, and spider field. Easy, that's it. You can get a couple neon berries from the pesticide planter. Just make sure it's grown to the maximum. If it's not 100%, then you're probably not gonna get anything. So yeah, these are the only tips I can give for caustic wax. Macroing, you can get them from the Puffshrooms again. If by any chance the Puffshrooms spawn in whatever field you're macroing, then maybe you can get some, but obviously the caustic wax can be only obtained, I think, by rare, epic, legendary, and mythic. So yeah, the default Puffshrooms are not gonna give you the caustic wax that you need, so it's not really a useful way. Next we've got the Turpentines. Now, the Turpentines for me were not a hard part at all. I would say it was the easiest because I already had like 6 or 7 Turpentines in Beesmas, or even before Beesmas when I got the Gummy-Baller, which was I think in 2023 or something. Yeah, something like that. So, how do you get the Turpentine? Well, Puffshrooms. If you have a friend who is a really good pro, you can just simply do puff runs every, I think, let's say in your area, it's 9 AM. And in 9:15 AM and 9:45 AM, Puffshrooms always spawn. Make sure you don't forget about that, because every 15 minutes and 45 minutes of the time during the hour, there are going to be Puffshrooms. So that's really easy to do. They obviously spawn in smaller levels, so it's gonna be a bit difficult. That's why I recommend you getting the petal planter, for example. It's a bit expensive, but it's worth it, because when you plant the petal planter, there's a higher chance to get maybe an epic Puffshroom or a higher level Puffshroom, which is always useful. Keep in mind you can only get Turpentine from mythic Puffshrooms, and I think in very rare cases from legendary Puffshrooms as well. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think legendary can give you as well, but it's like extremely rare. So you just gotta rely on Puffshrooms. Another thing is crafting them. Now crafting is not really my option. I've never crafted a Turpentine in my life before, and I somehow still have 4 after crafting the Gummy-Baller, but you can see it costs 10 super smoothies, 10 caustic wax, which obviously it's going to slower your progress to the Gummy-Baller, as you also have to get some caustic wax for the Gummy-Baller, 100 star jellies, and 1000 honeysuckles. The easiest part is obviously the honeysuckles. Mobs, for example like the ladybug and the rhino beetle, can also give you some honeysuckles. No worries about that. The super smoothies, you gotta craft them, man. I don't have any other recommendation. Just craft. Caustic wax, yeah, Puffshrooms. And next, or finally, we've got the vials. I think it was satisfying vial, yeah? Pretty easy to get. Macro, alright? Macro, summon a petal planter or a dahi planter in sunflower field. Wait until it grows fully to the maximum. Just grab it and do it again and again and again until you get 24 hours of satisfying nectar. That also counts for any nectar, by the way. Just do, or vial. Just do that over and over again. Go to the nectar condenser. And which nectar would you like to convert? I currently do not have any nectar, but if you do, obviously you're gonna have the satisfying. Just convert it. It's going to give you 4 hours of satisfying nectar, so it's going to cut your satisfying nectar by 12 hours, and it's going to give you 1 vial. So do the math, so 12 times 5, do the math, and that's how many hours of nectar you need for the 5 vials. And that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please correct me if I'm wrong for any misinformation, and obviously I'm going to pin you if there is any misinformation, so I can spread awareness everywhere. So please like and subscribe for my efforts, because these videos are not easy to take. I don't have enough imagination for these videos, and yeah, that's it. So, peace out.